Alright guys, this is our final lecture on arrays. So till now we have learned different features of arrays and we have implemented different operations on them. Here we will learn when it's useful to use arrays and when we need to avoid them. First of all, let's see when we can use arrays. So when there is a need to store multiple similar type of data, for example, if you want to declare thousands of variables, instead of declaring them one by one, we can use array. So this is very useful in terms of declaring the same data type variables in one collection. Now the second useful time to use an array is when we want to access random numbers from given arrays. This mainly because accessing a given random number from array takes runtime complexity, which is very efficient for our software. So we know that when we are declaring an array, the array cells are located contiguously in the memory, and this means that we know the physical location of these cells over here. So that's why accessing these cells is very time efficient. So whenever you need a random access from a given numbers in the array, in this case you can use array data structure in your software. Now let's see when usage of an array is not useful. So when we need to avoid them. The main limitation of array in some programming language is storing same type of data type. So in some programming language this is changed, but in case of array we have to store same data type in the arrays. So this is main limitation, because if we have declared our array like integer array, so we have to insert only integer values. We cannot insert string to this array over here. So this is one limitation of array. Another limitation with array is that array reserves a specific amount of memory to hold its content. So this means that whenever you create array with the size of default size, so you cannot exceed these elements. So in this case, you have to create new array and transfer all elements from this old array to the new array and insert extra elements to this array. So this is very time consuming operation. That's why this is limitation in case of array. And even if you declare a fixed size of array, and if you are not using some of elements of this array, it still reserves that amount of space in our memory. So this is one of the limitations of the array. So in this case, we need to avoid array. So in case if we need to write space efficient software, so in this case, we need to avoid arrays. So with this, we have come to the end of this lecture. So here, I've just give you two examples when we can use arrays and when we need to avoid them. So hopefully everything is clear about this lecture as well. So see you in the next lecture.